All right. Here we go. Finally, I
Yay.
apologize for the delay.
All
Totally my
good.
fault.
It's all good. Tech has a way of teching.
Well, hey, is this weather crazy? Like last week, I was all bundled up, ready for fall. Now I'm like sweating bullets outside.
Exactly. I was just out canvassing. That's why I'm all red right now, Bert.
Yeah.
So I'm not pretty for the camera, but I was out door knocking, talking to neighbors about my campaign, and I was like, "Wow, it's 90 degrees." I was not expecting that.
Yeah. I was outside too with the kids, and I'm
Yeah,
sweating bullets right now, and I'm
yeah,
getting nervous at the technical difficulties. And, anyways, I'm glad we're all
yeah.
here. So I'm super excited. I get to talk to people about Foster City, where I grew up.
Yes.
I love Foster City, super soft spot for it. And so there's nothing more than I want to see for Foster City to succeed. So
Yeah.
I'm happy you're able to come and talk with me. And I should let you know, and some of the followers that might be new, the reason why I decided to do these series of talks with candidates and local elected officials is because, as you know, I'm a real estate agent and I sold a lot of houses. And when I talked to clients, I found it really interesting that majority of them never like could tell you who the elected officers were. They were like
Yeah.
totally not involved with the local government, which was sad for me. And the main reason is because I actually think that local government is like so much more important than like the national level. But like everybody seems to have an opinion about what's happening nationally, right?
Yeah.
So, anyways, thank you so much for coming on so we get to talk about local politics.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So, maybe you can start out and kind of tell us a little bit about yourself in terms of how, or did you grow up in Foster City or did you migrate into it? Maybe you can help us understand that.
Yeah, you can say I'm a naturalized community member now in Foster City. I love it. My family and I moved out here 10 plus years ago because I got a job at a tech company in San Francisco, and Foster City was ideal, right? It's on the water, it's close enough to the city, either San Jose or San Francisco, but it's still got a nice little charming, it's very safe. But I'm originally from the East Coast, I'm a Jersey girl.
No way. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No accent or anything.
Only when I get really excited about certain or maybe upset, but that won't be happening on this call.
No, definitely not. Okay. Now, the next question is what is your favorite? Now, you've been there for 10 years now. So, what
Mhm.
is your favorite thing about Foster City?
There's so many things. I would think one of the things I love the most is our lagoon. Foster City is a man-made, people-made city. It was planned over 50 years ago by T. Jack Foster and his family. And the way they planned it is exceptional because you have all these different residence types. And then we're all centered around this beautiful lagoon that's in the middle of our city and our community. And it's such an equitable way to be able to enjoy the water. So you can either, if you're fancy, you have a boat and you go out on your Duffy boat, but you can also be like me. I ride my bike along the lagoon, go hang out with people during like food truck nights or bring food over there from local, local restaurants. So that is probably my favorite amenity, but it's tough to choose because we have like 24 plus parks and open spaces in Foster City.
Yeah, I think I read per capita, you have the most parks in the whole San Mateo County, right?
Yes, we're very lucky, and I can definitely see that people are making use of all those parks and open spaces.
For sure. The other thing I appreciated the most about, well, there's a lot of things, but one of the things about Foster City that I really thought was cool was you you have a lot of these like multi-million dollar homes that are right on the lagoon, right? And
Mhm.
obviously those are super nice, but you also have like a couple of like apartment complexes that are right on the water also. So you don't have to make billions of dollars in order to like live and enjoy the water, which I thought was super cool growing up.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've been reading up. I'm going to give a little plug. There's a couple books. They're all about Foster City, and I started reading these long before I, started campaigning. Because it's important to understand, especially if you're going to be involved in the future of Foster City and its progress and growth in different ways. and uplifting to the local economy, you understand what the original point of the city was. And like I mentioned before, it was a planned city, and it was planned with equity and inclusion and diversity in mind. Foster City, I believe, was one of the no, I know is one of the first cities that proactively banned redlining in the Bay Area, which means what redlining means for those who may not have heard of that term is anyone could buy property,
I,
Foster City,
I
and open businesses.
I love that. I actually never knew that. That's
Oh
cool.
yeah, yeah, it's a great selling point, right? So from our inception, equity and diversity was built in mind, and redlining predominantly targeted like people of different races,
Mhm.
primarily Asians and Blacks. So I feel very proud living here and serving this community because of those kind of roots that we have, and making sure that we continue to grow upon those roots.
I love that. I love that. Well, let's kind of build on that a little bit more. So, San Mateo County, as a whole, is having a huge problem with um, affordable housing, right? That's all San Mateo County. That's not
Mhm.
Carson City specific. But if you got elected, what would you do to kind of help that along?
Yeah, that's a great question. And there's like several, several paths. I do agree that affordable housing is a tough challenge, right? Because in order for housing to be affordable, you also have to offer housing at different rates so that it pencils out for everyone involved. But I do want to focus if I get elected, on specifically workforce housing, which will serve, there'll be dedicated earmarked affordable housing for teachers, local public employees, firefighters, police officers, those who are working for the police office. So I want to work on workforce housing. We already have one successful project that kicked off 2 years ago, and all the units have been placed. We
Mhm.
have families in there already. So I would like to be able to look at what land we own, what land we don't own yet, or could lease or buy, that would help us get more of that affordable housing that's targeted for workforce. I also want to look at senior housing. We have a big senior housing development in the middle of Foster City. It's actually facing the lagoon. It has like a little mini downtown, and it's wonderful. Are there
Mhm.
other opportunities to also help seniors that are in Foster City who are maybe don't want to live in? They may be alone, or maybe it's only two people, empty nesters. They don't want to live in a 3, 4 bedroom home anymore or condo, so they want to
Sure.
move to maybe smaller. So I want to make sure that we're using everything we can to get people into the current existing senior housing, and then looking at any future projects, but knowing that one term is 4 years, right? And a lot of what you need to do on the city council, you have to take your ego out of it. There may be things that I helped plant the seeds for that won't even see fruition for 10 years, and I'm okay with that, because I know that with complex projects and challenges, it's not going to be easy solution.
Sure, sure. Now, let's assume for a moment you do get elected.
Yeah.
What would be your first top priority that you want to address? Would it be affordable housing? Would it be senior housing? What would it be?
That's a tough choice, Bert. I actually think it would, those topics are absolutely high priority to me. I think the highest priority, from what I see, from what the data is telling me, also from talking to community members and businesses, is helping to get our local economy moving in a better direction. Foster City, as we mentioned before, it's so beautiful, it's so serene, it's so safe. We have a lot of free parking, but a lot of our storefronts are empty. And I understand this is not a Foster City specific issue, but I know other cities that are helping to solve this issue and face it. So I'd like to work on that with the other council members, with city staff, and other key stakeholders like our local chamber of commerce and their board,
Mhm.
as well as the city will be hiring. My city will be hiring a deputy city manager. It's a new role. And under that role and their umbrella, they're going to be responsible for economic development. And I would love to partner with these entities to figure out what are the best incentives, right? But you also don't want to keep spending money to solve a money issue. So,
Yeah.
what are incentives we can put together to help the businesses attract them and get them to stay? But what are all things we can offer maybe through the chamber, right? Training, mentoring, If someone's running a business selling cookies, they may not have time to understand how social media works or how billing works. What can we do to provide and supplement in that way? So I'm really excited for that. I would say that's the top issue right now. And that, again, can be worked in parallel with the other issues.
Now, would you, because I was reading on your website there, Foster City is running at a deficit soon, right? I can't remember
Yeah.
the time frame, but the point is that you, whoever goes into city councils is going to have to make generating revenue as a priority. Would that be accurate?
I 100% that's accurate. And I want to roll my sleeves all the way up and be
Mhm.
able to help contribute my strengths, right? Like my background coming from different industries like tech, finance, consumer packaged good, retail. I've worked in so many industries from like Fortune fives to companies with like 30 people in roles that span like marketing, communications, customer success. And I know that I have the chops to be able to help Foster City move forward. Again, it's not about getting five people like me on the council. It's about five people who have widely different skills and strengths, and we can help see, help each other alleviate some of the blind spots and gaps we may have. I maybe have certain ideas on how things should go, but I want to also understand everyone else's thoughts and also understand what's happened in the past that didn't work,
Mhm.
right? The last people don't like when you come in the room and say, "Hey, let's do this," and they're like, "Yes, we tried that 5 years ago.
Right.
It didn't work." So I want to do my full homework and understand what has worked in the past, what has not, and move from there.
I'm curious because I asked this of all the people the candidates that come and talk with me. You clearly had a successful career in other things. What possesses someone like yourself go into local politics?
That's a great question. Everyone asks me that when I'm out door knocking. They're like, "Why are you doing this?" Because it's not glamorous.
Right. Certainly not
Especially
for the
coming
pay.
not for the pay for sure. It's because I realized now I'm a very mission driven person. So I need to have a mission that I'm helping to complete, to solve, even if it's like me just helping one bit of it. That makes me feel so energized. And I realize as I get older in life, if I'm not tied to certain missions that I truly believe in. So, for example, the mission of being on council or just being a leader within our city is that your mission is to make Foster City a place where everyone can thrive while balancing needs and making sure that it's not about one population thriving, other population feeling unheard, but how do we make this work for everybody? And that's not easy. If it was easy, everyone would be in politics,
Of
right?
course.
But I think that's why I'm a mission driven person. And I'm also transitioning my career just because I was looking for more things to do. Um, Shortly after the campaign, I'm going to be looking to transition my career from the tech and tech consulting space into nonprofit or
Hmm.
a civic role. I really do want to put full pedal to the metal and leverage the strengths I have, the connections that I have to really serve Foster City and also the broader region.
Ah, I love it. I know that when you get elected, I know you're going to serve Foster City well. So I
Thank you
certainly
so
wish you
much.
the best.
Thank you.
Now, the
Yeah.
way I typically end off these conversations, I like to ask like a personal question. Maybe in your case, I'm going to
Mhm.
ask two. But first one, I know Foster City is really big on Halloween, right?
Oh, yeah.
So tell me, what are you going to be for Halloween? You and your kids.
Okay, so Halloween is my favorite holiday. It's the most wonderful time of the year. I got a Wednesday outfit. So Wednesday from Adam's
Yeah,
Family. So
yeah.
I figure I have to think of something that's comfortable where I can go like do campaign stuff
Mhm.
and not worry about the outfit. So I'm gonna wear a black dress, braid my hair, wear like Doc Martens. And my
Awesome.
son, he's in high school, so I think he's not dressing up because it's not cool anymore.
Of
But
course, yeah.
I like to be corny and I like to be out there. And I'm looking forward to attending our city's big like Halloween festivities and things. Obviously, not in campaign mode, just to go and celebrate and
Yeah,
see people.
right. Is your husband, I'm sorry, is he gonna be the other Addams Family member in that? Because I don't remember the show.
Ye-
I watched it, I think, once
oh
or twice.
yeah. So Wednesday's like the goth emo daughter. What I really wanted, maybe next year I can convince my husband, Sean, but I would love for him to be. So Wednesday's parents are Gomez and oh, how can I forget the mom's name? Anyway, Gomez and the wife, and I want us to be like a couple, but he's not into like that stuff. It's fine. I'm like, you always need one of me in the family who's going to be the extra corny one. I'm happy
Yeah,
to do
no,
that.
that's so awesome. I love it. No, because
Yeah.
like I'm thinking of it right now for myself.
Yeah.
'Cause my kids are still young, so I try to make it memorable for them, right? So
Yeah.
my wife and I will dress up, and I live in Millbrae, and so we usually have like a safe street equivalent to Foster City safe
Yeah.
street, and so we will probably end up doing that. So I like to talk about Halloween, see what everyone's doing.
That's great. How old are your kids?
So my oldest is 9, and I have twins that are
Yeah.
6.
Oh, how sweet. Oh my gosh. I love that
Yeah.
age. I miss that age.
Yeah. Well, there's good moments and bad moments. So
Yeah, I
yeah.
think once the kids get older, the parents start to forget the harder parts of the younger age,
Yeah.
right?
I think it's Mother Nature's way of saying you should have more kids.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Anyways, all right. My last question for you, and I know you're busy campaigning. So my last question for you is this: is that if you had one meal to have one more meal, what would it be?
Okay, I already know the answer. I just don't know if I'm saying it right because I'm Chinese, but American born. But my
Mhm.
mom makes this amazing stewed beef, carrot, and star
Hmm.
anise, whatever that little, I don't know, that
The
little
star thing?
that star thing that is
Yeah,
in
yeah, I
Chinese
know what
food.
you're talking about. I don't know what it's called.
Oh, it's so good. It's a stew and she like boils it and simmers for hours, sometimes days, right, to get that
Yeah,
right texture.
yeah.
And we put it over like noodles. They're supposed to be handmade noodles. I'm not making handmade noodles. That was my grandmother's thing. She would make them on the
Yeah,
floor on a wooden board. But
yeah.
that is my favorite meal of all time. And I don't get it a lot. So I love that meal. That's
Y
just
you
even
know,
talking about it now.
I
Wow.
I that's so funny because I think I know what you're talking about, and my
Yeah.
mom makes a version of that too, and, like, the broth or the concentrated broth, like, she keeps for, like, years, by the
Yes.
way, and she, like, reuses it again and dilutes it with
Yeah.
more stew, and,
Yes.
that's a great dish. Now I'm gonna
Oh, I
make my
know the
mom
name, Bert.
what's that?
牛肉面.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
牛肉
yeah,
面.
yeah, yeah, yeah. My
Yeah, yeah.
mom yeah, thank you very much. I'm gonna make my mom make that for me.
Yes. Next time my mom comes, I'm like, "Wait, you gotta get it because I haven't had that probably half a year now. I haven't had like I've had it in restaurants. It's not the same."
It's totally not the same. I
Mhm.
don't know about your mom, but, like, for my mom, she used to, like, keep it for years and years.
Oh,
So it
yeah.
like, you had the years of concentration of all
Oh my
brewing it
gosh.
down.
Extra good. We gotta get that recipe.
Yeah. Cool. Well, hey, Phoebe. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me or chat with me. I
Yeah.
certainly wish you the best with the campaign and enjoy Halloween. And
Yeah.
hopefully, we'll talk to each other soon.
It was great meeting you today and chatting with you. Thanks, Bert.
Take care, Phoebe.
All right. Bye-bye.